Hey guys, welcome to Timeless Discussions. Today we're going to talk about two incidents that I decided to combine into one episode. And I did this because both of these incidents occurred during that crazy Cold War period, specifically 1958. Um, One occurred in February, the other occurred in March. The first is known as the Tybee Island incident, and the second is known as the Mars Bluff crater or the Mars Bluff nuclear accident. Um, Both involved the United States Air Force dropping a nuclear bomb or nuclear bombs over the United States. So it's pretty crazy stuff. So let's get into the first one. The first one is the Tybee Island incident, and it occurred February 5th, 1958. And it involved the U.S. Air Force conducting a training exercise. And part of this training exercise, there was a B-47 bomber that was loaded with a 7,600 pound Mark 15 nuclear bomb. And it was also an F-86 fighter jet involved in this exercise. Now, the F-86 was piloted by a man by the name of Lieutenant Clarence Stewart. The B-47 was piloted by Colonel Howard Richardson. Now, during this exercise, these two planes collide at about 38,000 feet. The collision is devastating, devastating enough that Lieutenant Clarence Stewart actually has to eject. And he ejects. He winds up landing, parachuting safely at a place called Estill, South Carolina, and his F-86 crashes about 10 miles from where he lands, just east of Sylvania, Georgia. The B-47, like I said, the collision occurred at about 38,000 feet. As a result of the collision, the B-47 loses control, and it's plummeting. It's rapidly descending to gets down to about 20,000 feet before the pilot regains control. The pilot realizes that the weight of this bomb was 7,600 pounds, is causing this B-47 to descend more rapidly. Also, there's a very good chance that the B-47 is going to have to crash land. And if it crash lands with this bomb, it's going to cause an explosion. Now, the crew, Colonel Howard Richardson, knew he was carrying a nuclear bomb, but he didn't know if this bomb had its nuclear capabilities or it was just a dummy bomb, meaning like a conventional bomb, but he knew he had a bomb on there, and he knew it would not be a good thing if this plane crashed with this bomb as part of its payload. So they radio permission at 20,000 feet to jettison the bomb over the water, to release the bomb over the water, and permission is granted. So now the B-47 is about 7,200 feet over the Warsaw Sound, which is near Savannah, Georgia, just off the Tybee Island, the waters surrounding Tybee Island. So they released the bomb at 7,200 feet. The B-47 is now traveling at about 200 knots, which is about 230 miles an hour. The bomb hits the water, and that's it. The crew doesn't see an explosion, they don't hear an explosion, but they know it hit the water. The B-47 is able to land safely at Hunter Air Force Base in Savannah, Georgia. And as a result of this, the U.S. Air Force sends out some search crews to try to recover this bomb, all of which was unsuccessful. They knew it was in Warsaw Sound, but they couldn't find it. In 2001, the U.S. Department of Energy conducted a hydrographic survey to try to locate the bomb. Like, technology increased from 1958. They determined that the bomb is in Warsaw Sound, and it's about 5 to 15 feet below the silt, and the bomb is left there. Now, why the decision was to leave the bomb there, I don't know. Maybe it was because it would have been too dangerous to bring it up. It might explode. I don't really know the reasoning, but the bomb is left there. Now, what makes this crazy is that it was the U.S. Air Force's position in 1958, and I believe it still is, that this bomb was not nuclear capable, meaning that the plutonium nuclear core was not installed. If the plutonium nuclear core was installed, it's a fully functioning nuclear bomb. If a dummy core was installed, it doesn't have nuclear capability, but it still could produce a conventional explosion, and the bomb was loaded with several tons of explosives. So that's the Air Force's position. Now, in 1966, the Assistant Secretary of Defense, a man by the name of W.J. Howard, gives testimony opposite to what the Air Force stated. Howard states that this was a nuclear bomb, fully functional, and had its plutonium core installed, and that this nuclear bomb is at the bottom of Warsaw Sound. He goes on to say that not only was this a nuclear bomb that's missing or just like out there, it's one of two. There's another one missing. So pretty crazy stuff. Now, this is where it gets even stranger, right? So it was the Air Force's position that this was not a nuclear bomb; it was just a conventional bomb. But in 2007, um, there was an exam taken, a survey taken in the area to see if there was any unnatural radioactive levels in the waters surrounding where this bomb is located. Nothing was determined, but pretty crazy. Like we know there's a bomb. We know there's a 7600 bomb in the Warsaw Sound near Savannah, Georgia. Is it a conventional bomb? Is it a nuclear bomb? Will this thing ever go off? Who knows? But pretty crazy stuff. Now, let's go to the second incident. The second incident was March 11th, 1958, so very close to the first one, a month later. U.S. Air Force conducting another training exercise called Operation Snow Flurry. And under Operation Snow Flurry, B-47 bombers would be loaded with bombs. They would take off out of South Carolina, and they would fly over to England to conduct mock bomb droppings. So it's during this Operation Snow Flurry we have a B-47 bomber loaded with a Mark 6 bomb, which is 10 feet long, 7,600 pounds, and about 5 foot in diameter. Now, it's designed. This bomb is designed to carry a nuclear payload of like 30 kilotons. Now, the crew was unaware if they had a fully functioning nuclear bomb or they had a conventional bomb. We know that it was a conventional bomb. The nuclear core was on the plane, was on the B-47, but it wasn't attached to the bomb. But the crew did not know that. So you can just imagine the terror that's going to take place here. So mid-flight, during the exercise, during Operation Snow Flurry, a warning light comes on in the cabin, and the warning light indicates that the bomb locking mechanism is malfunctioning. The bomb locking mechanism is what actually keeps the bomb in place. So the bombardier leaves the cabin. He goes back to the bomb bay, and he wants to inspect this locking mechanism. And to do so, he has to climb up on top of the bomb to get near it. So to do so, he grabs a locking or a hand, not a locking, a hand, like a hand grab to kind of like hoist himself up and to stabilize himself. The plane is in mid-flight. He does that, pulls down, gets up, looks at the locking device and realizes that there's nothing wrong with it. But he also realizes that that grab handle that he used to hoist himself up and to stabilize himself was actually the bomb's release cable that he just pulled down. And when he did so, the bomb dropped to the bomb doors, causing them to open and causing the bomb to be released, bombs away, over a place called Mars Bluff, South Carolina, which is in Florence County. The bomb is released, the bomb drops, it makes impact near a man by the name of Walter Gregg, makes impact about 50 yards from his house and garage. It causes a crater, which is about over 50 feet wide, 25 feet deep. Takes out Walter Gregg's house, his garage, several other nearby houses, a church. Injures Walter, injures his wife, his 3 kids, and his niece, and kills all his chickens. Pretty crazy stuff. As a result, Walter initiates a lawsuit. He hires an attorney from Florence County. He sues the government to recover damages from his property. And he ultimately receives, I think it was like $36,000 in 1960 after all his expenses. Now, I took a ride to this. This was pretty wild to me because during my research, I found that you can see part of the fragments of this bomb. So I took a ride to the Florence County Museum in South Carolina where they have this on display, and you can take a look at the pictures that I'm going to show you right now. Um, and they put up a nice display. So pretty wild stuff. I recommend going to the Florence County Museum, by the way, not only to see this display, but they do a great job just in some local history. It's actually two floors. The museum is two floors and two separate wings. One wing is art, one wing is history, but both the two floors. They do a great job. But yeah, pretty wild stuff that actually happened. So we got two nuclear bombs or two bombs that were released by the Air Force in 1958 over the United States, a month apart from each other. Pretty crazy. Let me know what you think. Do we think there's a nuclear bomb in Warsaw Sound? I mean, is that possible? Like, if so, could this thing go off? I don't know. I don't know if these things go bad. I would imagine it's still dangerous. Um, Great stuff. Before I check out, I just want to make an announcement. I am working on a book, which is going to be a companion book to this YouTube channel. It's pretty good stuff. Um, it's in progress, and the anticipated release date is going to be mid-year 2025. So stay tuned for more details. Super excited to announce that, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Thanks, guys.